Hi and welcome back to class of Design of Machine Elements. I am Hitesh Raiyani, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. This is lecture 17, Pressure Vessel. Learning outcomes of this lecture is to learn the definitions of pressure vessel, thin and thick cylinder pressure vessel, longitudinal stresses and hoop stresses produced in the pressure vessel subjected to internal pressure. So let's start the lecture. First, the introductions. So what is pressure vessel? So pressure vessel, that is the cylindrical or cylinders or tanks are used to store the fluid under the pressure. So the fluid being stored in pressure vessel may undergo the changes of state inside the pressure vessel as in case of steam boilers. So the pressure vessels are designed with the great care as the rupture of pressure vessel and explore many losses of life and properties. Now, classification of pressure vessel according to their dimensions. As for the cylindrical pressure vessel, according to dimensions like diameter d and thickness of cylinder, they are classified according to the dimension thick cell and thick cell. So thick cell and thick cell is classified according to the dimension of pressure vessel. So in case of thick cell, whenever the T, that is the thickness of pressure vessel, is greater than 1 by 10 multiplied by the diameter of cylinder. So if the thickness is greater than 1 by 10 into D, then you can say the ratio D by T less than 10. So whenever the D by T ratio is less than 10, the cylinder is thick cylinder. And for thin cylinder, it is small d by T ratio is greater than T, or T less than 1 by 10 D. So in this case, the pressure vessel is classified according to the D by T ratio. If the D by T ratio is less than 10, then thick cylinder, and if D by T ratio is greater than 10, then it is considered as a thin cylinder. Now consider the stress. Now next is the stresses in thin cylindrical cell due to an internal pressure. So here the cylindrical cell is subjected to internal pressure, and which kind of stress is produced on cylindrical pressure vessel or cylindrical cell, that it depends on the cross sections we have to consider as a failure. So there are two types of stress acting on cylinder, that is hoop stress and longitudinal stress. If the failure of cylinder is along the longitudinal directions as shown in figure A, then the hoop stress is generated, and if the failure of cylindrical cell along the transverse sections as shown in the figure B, the longitudinal stress is generated. So according to the failure of cylindrical cell, hoop stress and longitudinal stress is produced. Now circumferential or hoop stress. So as we seen in the previous slide, the hoop stress is considered when the cylindrical cell or pressure vessel is failure along the longitudinal direction. So you can see the cross sections or cutoff of the cylindrical pressure vessel, and you can see in this pressure vessel the thickness of this cylinder is small t, length of this cylinder is L, and whatever the pressure is applied inside the cylinder or pressure vessel, that is shown by the blue line. So whatever the projected area as per the longitudinal cross section, that is capital D into L. So diameter of cylinder into length of this cylinder is the projected area on which the pressure is applied. And opposite of this force or pressure, the resisting force is generated, that is sigma hoop into the projected area. So here we have to balance the force in y-axis to calculate the hoop stress or circumferential stress. So first, force acting on longitudinal sections is equal to intensity of pressure into projected area. Here the intensity of pressure, that is the pressure applied on cylinder inside the pressure vessel, that is the P, and the projected area. Here the case is longitudinal cross section is considered. So according to this longitudinal cross sections, projected area is D into L. So if we consider P is the intensity of pressure and projected area is D into L, then the force acting on the longitudinal section is P into D into L. Give the equation number 1. Now next is resisting force acting on the cylindrical wall. Now if a pressure is applied on the projected area, then the opposite direction there are resisting force on cylindrical wall. And if you see the resisting force, that is shown by the red arrows, which is up in upward directions, or you can say in positive y direction. So here the sigma T1 is the hoop stress. So if you consider sigma T1 is the hoop stress, and you have to multiply the area of resisting. So resisting area here is the T into L, but we have to consider the both sides of the cylinder. So that's why the resisting area is 2T into L. So resisting force is sigma T1 into 2T into L. Give the equation number 2. As we know, this action and reactions is opposite and equal. Here is also we apply the pressure in pressure force, and opposite reaction force is generated. So we have to equivalent these two forces to calculate the hoop stress. Now next is from equation 1 and 2 we have to equivalent these two equations, equation 1 and 2. So we get sigma T1 into 2T into 1 is equal to P into D into T. Sorry, P into D into L. Here P into D into L is the projected for is the load due to the pressure, and sigma T1 into 2T into L is equal to is the resisting force. These both forces are equal and opposite, so we can equivalent these two forces, and from simplifying this equation we get sigma T1 is equal to P into D divided by 2T, or you can say that T, that is the thickness of cylinder, is equal to P into D divided by 2 into sigma T1. So this is the equation of hoop stress or circumferential stress, that is sigma T1 is equal to P into D divided by 2T. Now next is the longitudinal stress. As we know that when the cylinder is filled by transverse sections, then at that time we have to consider the longitudinal stress. As shown in the figure here, the force intensity, or you can say the pressure intensity, is acting on cylinder, then opposite sigma longitudinal is generated on thickness of cylinder. And here the D is the diameter of cylinder, and here the cylinder is thin, so we have to consider the diameter of cylinder as D. Now here the total force acting on transverse section, that is the intensity of pressure into cross sectional area. Here the cross sectional area is what? Diameter of cylinder, that is pi by 4 into d square, and the intensity of pressure is P. So the force acting on transverse section is equal to P into pi by 4 into d square. Give the equation number 1. Now, so whatever the force resisting, that is in terms of sigma longitudinal. So total resisting force, here the resisting area is pi into d into t, and the force stress is resisting stress is the longitudinal stress. So resisting force becomes sigma T2 into pi d into t. Here the sigma T2 is equal to the longitudinal stress. Give the equation number 2. So now this equation number 1 and equation number 2 both are the equal and opposite force. So we have to equivalent these two equations. To calculate the longitudinal stress, we have to equivalent equations 1 and equations 2. So equations 1 is P into pi by 4 d square, that is the force acting on transverse sections, is equal to sigma T2 into pi into d into small t, that is the resisting force. And if we solve these equations, we get sigma T2 is equal to P into d divided by 4t, or you can say the thickness of cylinder T is equal to P into d divided by 4 into sigma T2. Here sigma T2 is the longitudinal stress, and that is equal to P into d divided by 4t. So according to the section of cylinder, there are sigma T1, that is hoof stress, and sigma T2, that is the longitudinal stress. And if you see both the equation of sigma T1 and sigma T2, the sigma T1, that is the hoof stress, is the 2 times the longitudinal stress. So these two equations is very important to design the pressure vessels. You have to use these two equations while you doing the design of pressure vessel. So in these lectures we learned what is pressure vessel, types of pressure vessel according to the dimension of cylindrical cell, that is a thin shell and thick shell, and we learn the stresses produced on the cylindrical cell, that is longitudinal stress and hoof stress. Thank you.